Hello everyone, in today's video I'm gonna explain to you how to contribute on the Highrise docs. Now if you are an absolute beginner, this video is for you. So let's get started by downloading the tools that we're gonna use later on in the video. We go to Google Chrome, search for Git, download Git, go to download and download the machine that you have, which is Windows or Mac, and same goes for Visual Studio. Go search for Visual Studio, then downloads and download Visual Studio. Once you do that, go back to the official website, which is create.highrise.game, and go to learn. And here you can see there's an edit button where allow you to edit to this documentation. So if you go to scripting, for example, scripting or serialized fields, you can see there's a typo here. We're gonna fix that, so making it available to control in the editor. Now if you click on edit, it would direct you to GitHub. If you don't have an account, you have to create a new account. Once you are here, you can navigate back to the creator docs main directory, which is this one. And now we can create a fork. Now to create a fork, you just simply click on fork, and then you choose the owner, which is me, and you can add a description if you want. I'm not gonna add a description, so I'm just gonna create a fork. This will take a few seconds. Once you create a fork, you have to copy the URL that's inside the inside the fork itself. So if you go to code and you select HTTPS, you can copy this link right here, and you can navigate back to your Windows, for example. And here we can create a new folder, and you can call this folder whatever you want. So for example, I'm gonna call this folder testing for now. If you navigate to this folder and you select the path and you type cmd, and here you type code dot after installing Visual Studio Code, you can see here that we are inside the Visual Studio Code. Now if you go to terminal and you click on new terminal and you type git clone and then right click, it should automatically paste the GitHub, which is the URL that we copied earlier. If you click enter, you can see now that we have our creator docs right here. Now after you do that, we're gonna go to the extension and we're gonna search for an extension called code spell checker. Now I already have that installed, and I'm gonna show you what it does. So if you go back to the GitHub page, and for example we go to create.highrise and we click and edit, you can see here that this is the word that we're gonna change. So this is the path, which is page learn studio guides scripting. So if you go back to our Visual Studio Code and we search page studio guides scripting and then serialized fields, you can see here that it's marked, or it's like highlighted with the underline, and this is only because I have this extension installed. This extension will highlight the words that are grammatically incorrect, and this will help us spot any grammar errors, for example. Once we do that, if you go back to the terminal and you type cd and then creator docs, this will navigate us to the folder, which is the forked repository that we created earlier. And now you can type get status. This will say that our on branch main, it's because we are on the main branch. If we want to create a new branch to always commit all our changes to that specific branch, we can do get checkout -b, and then fixing typos. You can call this whatever you want. I'm gonna call it fixing typos. Now that's done. If you do get status again, you can see here we are on branch fixing typos, and now we can start making changes. For example, now we can over available, and we can do quick fix, and we can select available. This way we can, and if you save the file by clicking Ctrl S, you can see here that this file has been modified. If you go to the control or the source control, you can see that we changed this file right here. Now if we do get status again, you can see here that we modified the page learn studio guide scripting serialized fields. It shows the log for all the changes that we have made. Now we can either add or commit. Now we're not going to use the terminal because it's going to be easier for you if you just come here and you type the message. For example, let's say updating typos in serialized fields. Now you can revert the changes if you want, if you can discard them. If you can, like, if you messed up, you just can discard the changes. But right now I want to change this word. So once you do that, you can commit by clicking on the commit. And this will say there are no stage changes to commit. Would you like to change? Okay, so you can say yes, or you can just remove this, and you can add you can stage the changes by clicking on the plus. Now we have this in staged changes. Now we can commit this specific file or this specific change by doing commit. And now you can see it says outgoing. Now we can publish the branch, which is fixing typos. If you click on publish branch. Now if you go back to our, if we do get status here, you can see that there's nothing to commit. So if you go back to our forked repository, which is in our accounts, Phoenix and creator docs, you can see here that we had recent push on April 18, which is the fixing typos. Now if you say compare and pull request, it will navigate you to this page where now we can update the title if the title is the same title that we set earlier. But you have to make sure that it says here base repository and pocket words, because this is the one that we want to commit to, which is the main one, and it's going to be the base main, because this is, again, this is the branch that we want to pull or we want to push to. And now you can see here there's a description. What does this BR do? And here I can say, for example, fixing. You don't need to, you can just write it underneath here. You can just say, for example, fixing typos and grammatic errors. And here I'm gonna say, this is, for example, this is a tutorial on how to open a pull request. I'm sorry for typing like that. It's just I'm typing with one hand because my other hand is broken. Anyway, that's done. If you can go to preview, it says here, what does this PR do? Fixing typos and grammatic errors. Now that's done. We can go down here and we can see that we changed the available. We fixed it. And now we can create a pull request by clicking on create a pull request. Now, if you want this to be reviewed by the team before creating a pull request, you can create a draft instead. By creating a draft, it's like you're telling Highrise to check this, or like you're telling Highrise to take a look at this before you create the pull request. But in this case, I'm just going to create a pull request by clicking on create pull request. Now you can see here it redirects me to Pocket Words Creator Docs and says pull requests 1, which is my request, and here says updating typos in serialized fields. Now code owners review required. Now we're gonna waiting for code owners review for Pocket Words. Now they will review it and then they will accept it or decline it or add comments on it and tell you, for example, that this needs to be changed or you have to do modification to that specific file. If you got file changed here, you can see that this file changed, and with that you can commit and you can do whatever you want.